Are you ready?
Whatever.
Okay. Well, my name is Patrick Daglaris. I'm here in Monticello with Mr. Ceola Woodson. And sir, if you could just state where and when you were born.
I was born in Jefferson County, 1920.
And could you state your parents' names and occupations?
Gilbert Woodson, farmer. Bessie Woodson, mother of nine children.
And what are some of your memories growing up in Jefferson County?
Oh, I practically all my memories in Jefferson County. We went to school. We did work on the farm. We raised chickens, hogs, cows, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm. What'd you do for fun?
For what?
For fun.
Play ball, baseball, football, and basketball.
Were your parents from Jefferson County also?
No, my dad he was from North Carolina. My mother was from Jefferson County.
Okay. And do you remember your grandparents?
Yes. Neely Nicholson, she was African. My grandfather was Henderson Woodson from North Carolina.
And where did you go to school?
Jefferson County.
And did any of your family participate in World War I? Did they enlist or?
Pardon me?
In World War I, did your family? Did any of your?
My dad was in World War I. Was listed in World War I.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember? Did he ever talk about his experiences? Do you remember anything about that?
No.
And what did you do after school? After you finished school?
After finishing school, went to work, doing certain things, cutting wood, logging, farming.
And could you talk a little bit about your parents? If you have any memories you'd like to share?
I remember my parents, my mother and father, yes.
What was your father like?
You asked that question. He was mixed, just like I am.
Yeah?
My mother was mixed too. There was no solid nothing.
Mm-hmm.
My mother was African. My daddy was part Indian. Uh-huh.
And you said he was a farmer?
Yes.
What did he farm?
In Jefferson County.
Oh, what crops?
All types of crops. Peanuts, corn, sweet potatoes, watermelon, practically everything we grew on crops, on farms.
Did you have any siblings?
Who?
Did you have any brothers or sisters?
Oh, yes. It was a lame head. It was
How many?
11 head.
Wow. How many brothers? How many sisters?
I had it was 6 brothers and 5 sisters.
Wow, that's a big family.
Yep.
Where were you? Were you the youngest or the oldest?
No, I'm in the middle.
In the middle.
Yes.
And what do you remember about going to school? Any teachers you remember, or what was your experience like?
Mamie Black, Miss Lewis. That's about it.
What subjects interested you?
Huh?
What subjects interested you in school?
Interests me. All subjects interest me. I'm a minister.
Okay.
I've been one for now about 50 some years.
Wow. And do you have any memories you'd like to share about growing up? What it was like in the 20s or the 30s? Or...
Well, in the 30s, we had one of a time in the 30s. We grew up in the 30s. We would love each other and play and do whatever we had to do.
And do you have any experiences, because the 30s, people usually think of the Great Depression. Do you have, did you experience that at all?
I was born in 1920.
So you were a teenager.
Huh?
So you were a teenager when...
Right. I was a teenager. In fact, we didn't pay that much attention because my papa and my daddy grew hogs, cows, and chickens and whatnot. And so we had plenty to eat all the time.
That's good. What was Jefferson County like back then?
Back then, it's kind of rugged. I know you noticed that I'm on two sides of the fence.
What do you mean?
What did I tell you? My grandma was.
Is there anything? Is there anything else you remember about Jefferson County? Was it because you talked about your dad was a farmer? It was a rural area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so after school, you said you went to work.
Oh, yes.
And how did you end up enlisting? How did that happen?
I ended up enlisting. In World War II, when I was enlisted, you had to register.
Did you get drafted?
Uh,
Did you get drafted or did?
in World War II. 1942.
Wow. Do you remember the day Pearl Harbor happened?
Yes, I do. That's when I was drafted right after then.
Yeah. What were you doing that day?
Oh, I was doing farm work.
Did it come on the radio or the newspaper?
The radio, there wasn't many radios along me at the time. Yeah.
So you enlisted in 1942?
Yes, sir. I went into service in 1942. I went in the second draft
Okay. Into the Army?
into the Army.
Did you want to go in or were you?
You didn't have to want. You did what they say do.
And what was that like?
Oh, it was kind of on the rough corners.
Do Do you remember boot camp?
I reckon I do.
What was that like?
You don't want to know all of this, do you?
I'm here. I'm willing to
Do you
listen.
want to know all of this? Well, when they took me in there, they put me in the white crew. And I'm not white. I'm mixed still. And so that's the way it went.
Did they know that you were mixed, or?
I know where you're gonna miss it. I got blue eyes.
So you were put in like the white troops. Was it a different?
Yeah, I was putting it with the white ones.
So they were segregated in the army. They were separate.
Yeah, they were separated now in at the time. But the thing about it was they didn't know whether I was white or black.
So when did they find out? How did they?
I had to keep on telling them until they run a record on it.
Yeah.
And then if I run the record on it, they find out the truth, the fact about it.
Did they put you in the other camp then at that point, or did you stay in the white group?
You know, I moved over to the black boys.
How long were you in the service until that happened?
About 6 months.
Okay. So 6 months in, so you were already done with basic training or boot camp?
No, we was in basic training at the time.
Where were you at? Where was that?
Camp Claiborne, Louisiana.
Okay.
What Texas? Some everywhere.
Okay. And so after there, where did you go?
Louisiana.
You went to Louisiana?
Yep.
That was Camp Claiborne?
Yep.
And then that was for basic training or boot camp or?
That's basic training.
Okay.
You wasn't in boot camp. They basic training.
Were there different? Were they equal facilities for the black and the white troops since you were with both of them? Did you experience a difference or any type of?
No, it was all the same thing. We had to do the same things. We had to do the same works and whatnot. And so it was all together.
Yeah.
It was just the same thing. Well, no difference in doing whatever you did. Training. That's what you did, training.
And then, so after Camp Claiborne, where'd you go?
You back that ship up there and load us up and send it away.
And where'd you go? Did you go on the Pacific or to Europe or?
Europe.
Europe?
Yeah.
What year was that?
42. All this was done in 42.
Oh, wow. It's 42. You went in, you did your training, and you were already overseas?
Oh, yeah.
And where'd you go first? Where'd they dump you off?
I don't know.
No? Was it in like Germany or France or?
No, that's what we was fighting, the Germans.
Well, I didn't know if you were on that front or if you were near Russia or.
No, it was Germany.
Okay.
We was in Germany.
And that was in 42, right?
Yep.
Okay. So how long were you in there for?
Not too long. I got sick.
Were you there throughout the length of the war, or
No. I got sick, I told you.
Oh, you got sick. Okay.
Yes.
What happened?
I don't know. Doctor didn't tell me.
What group were you in?
3 times second engineer.
Okay. So what was your responsibility? Your training for then?
Well, we were trained to fight. That's what we were trained to do.
Okay. And do you remember any towns or areas in Europe that you visited or that you were stationed at?
Towns.
Or like camps or things like that?
Camp Claiborne, Louisiana?
Well, I mean in Europe once you were overseas.
No. Oh, no, mate.
So how long were you in there before you got sick?
Oh, no. About maybe a year, something like that.
So probably in 1943 is when you
Yeah.
got sick?
No, it's 42.
Oh, 42.
Yeah,
That was a busy year for you.
yeah. A bad year.
Yeah. So you got sick and then were you discharged immediately or were you?
No, I was about 6 months before it discharged me.
Mm-hmm. Did you experience any combat while you were over there?
No, I did not.
Mm-hmm. At that time, were you in France? Were you providing like support to people who were already over there, or?
No, when the ship went over, they all just about got killed on that ship.
Did they get sick and?
But I was sick, but I didn't get on the ship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are there any other memories you have that you did over there? Like what were?
No, not too much.
No. So you weren't there too long before you got sick then?
Right.
Okay. So how long did it take? So after you were discharged and you got sent back home?
Yes.
And then that was it? You were done with the Army or did you get better and have to?
No, I was done with it. In 43, see, it's about courage being on in 43.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
So how long were you sick for until you got better?
Oh, about a year.
Mm-hmm. And what'd you do after that?
I went to Wake, doing logging, putwooding, farming, some of everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was it like riding the ship over there?
I don't even know.
No.
I was out. No.
No. How long did it take? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Probably took a little while, huh?
They pulled me out of the line up right at the ship. So I don't know.
Huh. So, do you remember how long you were over there exactly? Was it just a couple months? Or?
No, I didn't make it. The doctor pulled me out of the ship.
Oh, you were still on the ship when you got sick?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was sick before I got the ship.
Oh, wow. So you weren't there very long then, huh?
No.
Okay. All right. So after you got out, you went back to work logging, you said?
Yeah, logging, farming,
Mm-hmm.
doing all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm. And do you remember hearing about how the war was going on the radio or newspaper? Or?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, so you remember when the war ended then, right?
Yes.
Was it a big celebration or a big deal?
I don't know whether they had a celebration or not, but I did.
Yeah.
I was glad it was over.
Mm-hmm. Did you, during the war, I guess before the war and maybe after you got out, did you experience some of the effects of like rationing? Like, did they have rations or you couldn't use a lot of gas?
Yes, they had rations.
Mm-hmm. You remember all that?
Yeah, I remember all of that.
Mm-hmm.
The stamps and all that junk.
The war bonds?
Yeah, and all that junk.
Mm-hmm.
Remember that one.
So you said you had, was it 11 total of you, right? Brothers and sisters?
So boy, five girls, nine boys.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. How many of them went into the service too? Your brothers?
Oh, it was about Six of us.
Did they go in the Army too, or the
Yes.
Navy,
yes.
or?
Yeah.
And were they on the Pacific Front or in Europe?
Some was all over.
All over?
Yeah.
And they were in there right till the end? Right till the end of the war?
Some of us.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Wow, so you were a big military family then.
Yes.
Your dad,
Yeah.
and then you and your brothers?
Yep.
Wow. So when did you get married?
46.
46?
Yeah.
Oh, so that was right after the war then. So
Yeah.
when did you meet?
Who me? Me and my wife.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we had met a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
We knew each other.
So you met before you started dating, or?
Oh no, I ain't gonna tell you that.
Okay, all right. So did you already know each other before you went in the first time to the Army?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
So you got married in 46, you said, right?
Yeah.
And then what'd you do after that? Were you working in Monticello the whole time?
I worked around Jefferson County the whole time.
Doing logging?
We doing farm work. We doing farm work most of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good. And then, did you have any children?
Huh?
Did you have any children?
Did I have it? That's my daughter right there.
11.
That's my next oldest daughter right there.
Oh, wow.
I got one older than she.
Wow. Okay, lots of children then. Okay.
I got a household of children.
Okay.
If all of them would come together, I'd leave home.
Yeah.
Got 150 something. Head, children, grandchildren.
Wow. Big family.
Yep.
Lots of brothers and sisters, lots of children, lots of grandchildren.
Yep.
Wow. And great
Still
grandchildren.
coming.
Still going. And so, did you stay in Monticello your whole life, working and living here?
No. I stayed in Jacksonville. About 3 years.
Jacksonville?
Yeah.
What'd you do there?
Carpenter work.
Okay. When was that?
That was in the 50s.
In the 50s?
Yeah.
Okay. And after that, you moved back home to Jefferson County?
Yes.
Okay. I wanted to ask you what you remember about your grandparents, or maybe like any meals they cooked, or anything that you remember, like games you would play.
Oh no, I used to remember games I played.
Mm-hmm.
I played baseball, played football, and all that.
Yeah.
All the balls, basketball,
Mm-hmm.
whatever ball come about, that's the one I played.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember my granddaddy.
What was he like?
Yeah, he was stout. Had a much children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember how many? More than you?
About 7.
Okay. And you remember your grandmother?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
I reckon I do. Many times she tanned my eye. She was African.
And do you remember when your parents, when they were born?
No.
No.
I do not.
Mm-hmm.
When my daddy folks born in North Carolina.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
How old were they when they had you, at least? Maybe that'll help us.
Oh, they were full grown. That's all I know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And you said you were a middle child, right? You were in the middle?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the middle.
Okay. And so I was wondering what'd you do after Jacksonville? You moved back here and where'd you work?
Well, I did carpenter work all around this place.
Okay.
Tallahassee. I did a lot of carpenter work in Tallahassee.
What kind of work would you do? What kind of carpentry work?
All of it,
Yeah.
from the big foundation up.
Wow. How long did you do that for?
Ooh, no. Oh, about 30, 40 years.
So did you make like all the furniture for your house, and did you do like furniture, like tables and
What you mean, make them?
yeah, like carpentry?
No.
No, you made like houses and
Houses.
okay.
And,
So you did that work.
yeah.
All right. Did you build a lot of the houses around here, or
Oh, yeah, I built a lot of houses in Tallahassee.
yeah?
Yeah. All around, I built houses all over Florida. All the way from Jacksonville.
Did you do any like commercial buildings, like businesses, or
No.
no?
I've hoped with them, but I didn't build them.
How'd you get into that?
Oh, I did. It was that good. I just went through for part of it. Yeah.
You went to school for it, you said?
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school for?
In Jefferson County.
And you said you did logging first, right?
I did some all kind of stuff. Farming, logging, I did it all. I ain't missed none of it.
So when did you retire then?
Oh, it's been about 22 years ago. My eyes wasn't bad.
Wow. So you worked for a long time.
Yeah.
Wow.
I do work now some.
Yeah?
That I can do.
Do any of your children do carpentry or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's good.
I got boys now doing carpenter work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have grandchildren who do carpentry too?
Yes, sir.
Wow. That's good. And so you retired, so you said about 20 years ago, so that was in the 90s?
20-something, about 23 or 4 years ago.
Okay, so in the
I
1990s.
retired because I had my eyes were bad on me.
Okay, and so what have you been up to since then?
I do some ministry, mostly.
Yeah.
I don't have to read in ministry because I know the book.
That's pretty good. That's impressive.
I've been preaching now for about, I've been preaching for a long time, about 50-some years.
And I have a question about, do you have any memories or of any involvement or anything during the 1960s with the civil rights movement? Do you?
Well, I know about what went on, but I wasn't involved.
Were any of your children involved or any? I guess they were pretty.
No.
Some were pretty young by then.
Yeah. I don't see what they're doing now. They're doing some of the stupid side things that I could in my life right now. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been around for a long time. You've seen a lot of stuff, huh?
Yep. I'm 96.
Wow. That's impressive. I hope I can live that long. You know, it's a long time.
Just do right.
Yeah.
Live right.
What's the secret?
Do right, live right.
Yeah.
Treat people right. And you make it.
Okay. No, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Are there any other experiences that you can think about, you want to talk about, whether it's family or your work or your ministry or your childhood?
My ministry's still going. They didn't stop.
Yeah? You're keeping busy with it?
Yeah, it shows God sits on the throne in time.
That's good.
I can't read, but that don't make no difference. I bet you one thing, I try to do the thing he won't done.
That's great.
When I quit that, I'll be able to quit the whole world.
So how have you seen Jefferson County change over your lifetime? How it was and how it is now?
Jefferson County right now at the lowest point I ever seen it in my whole entire life.
Really?
Yes.
How come? Like what do you think it is?
What I think it is, I don't know what done happened to it. Something done happened to it. All the souls practically gone from one thing to the other. The only thing you think about now is going to get somebody to cook something to eat. You don't think about other things no more.
What are some things you'd like to see happen, or how do you think?
Jefferson County?
Yeah, like how would
I
you?
would like to see it go back to where it was. See, people call themselves changing things. You can't change things that God has already made. I'm crazy.
No, I mean you've been around a long time. You've probably seen more than anyone else in the community, huh?
Yeah.
Have you lived in the same area, the same house, or have
No,
you?
not in the
You
same
moved
house.
around?
I've been in the same house about 50 some years.
Did you build it?
Yes, I did.
Wow.
My oldest daughter about 80 some years old. About 81, maybe. 71. That's the next oldest one that's young.
Wow. So you okay? Well, I'm trying to think. Are there any other things you want to talk about that I can ask you about?
No.
All right. Well, I just want to say thank you for letting me talk with you today. It was a great time for me, and I just want to thank you for your service, for being in the Army,
All right.
and I appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right.